Ooh.
I believe that Telegram allows you to record.
Yeah, I just started it, so let's see how it turns out. Let me make the announcement that we're live in the other one. Live in Telly.
Hello, hello.
Just waiting on everybody to get in here. Coffee table will be in just a second. Let's see.
Oh, just waiting for some people to hop on before we start. Hello, welcome everybody.
There's coffee table.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What's up?
How are you?
Finally downloaded this. I've never used it before, so it's an experience.
Welcome to the club. Let's see. Just added you to the VIP.
Thanks.
I know there were a few people that said they wouldn't be able to make it, Sarah, so they may pop in as we go along. I know for sure Kazi said he had a phone call right about now.
Yeah.
So, depending on how long we go, he may be able to pop in later.
Alrighty then. So, anybody right off the bat have anything that they want to ask or discuss or figure out what is what before we jump into kind of what's going on today? No?
I'm all set right now. Sorry, I'm just kind of multitasking, doing some other stuff as well for work. So.
No, you're good.
I wouldn't mind if you. Oh, sorry.
Nope. Keep going. What?
Oh, I wouldn't mind if you guys talked about wedges. I know you point them out during in the chats, and if you could clarify what the different wedges signify, I would appreciate it.
All right,
We've talked a lot about. ascending wedge, I guess.
Let me pull up some pictures
Cash is
because
gonna have to share her screen because I'm not good with patterns.
hold on. Let me pull up. I'll post them in the chat that way. So there are 4, yeah, I think there's 4 main ones. Let me grab those. There we go. If it'll let me.
So while we're just looking at this, I feel like I'm being biased a little bit, but at the same time, I don't. I believe that because we're not, yes, we're making highs. I personally am not. Stop it, Cecilia. Why would you throw that? She makes it so difficult where I can't even think 90% of the time. So we've broken trends. Right now, gold is just like ranging between this 32 area and 37 area. For it to make a big move, it has to break either below the 30 or above the 38 for us to continue to go in an uptrend or a downtrend. Right now, I feel that it's going to try to come back down and retest the backside of this trend right here. Because as you can see, we broke right here. We broke trend and then we held the trend and now it's doing its thing. I think that we still come back and retest the backside before we make another move up to this 44 area. But of course, if it was to come back down, and retest this trend, we could break and then come down and retest this and then come test this area. Right now, it's just, I feel we're just in a waiting game. If you're a scalp person and you like to take $1 to $2 moves, what's happening right now is beautiful. It's literally scalp city. Like, we are, as you can see, just on the 1 minute alone, it's been a move. It ranged, and then another move, and then another $3 move, and then another $2 move, and then this is making another move. Now, if we draw a trend on this 1 minute,
You want to zoom in a little bit.
Is it going to come and retest this OB and then skyrocket back up to, 1840? That's where things like Sofa King, if I'm not mistaken, took a trade off of this 1837 area up. We're definitely in an uptrend. But right now, I wouldn't say I'm biased. There's this big freaking gap on MT4 and gold doesn't leave big gaps. They're typically very small. So because of this gap, it has me super, super biased. Now, entry points and things like that still have to be in play, but how high we go is where I'm being biased. As in, like, I don't think we'll break 1844 and go any higher than that before we come down to grab that gap. But like I said, I'm being biased, so I'm trying my best to stay out of things that are not showing. Like when it kept rejecting the 1830, I didn't keep holding it. I still was paying attention to my chart and everything, but I am more on the short side than I am on the long side, if that kind of makes sense what I mean by I'm being biased. Because I feel we're going to go grab that gap before we make any more higher highs.
Sarah, do me a favor.
What?
Draw a top trend line right there.
Here or over here?
Starting there.
Right here?
Starting at 6 a.m. Go over.
Oh, so right here.
Yep. That's a wedge.
Let me turn everything off.
What's up, loading?
What?
Oh, loading popped in. I was saying what's up.
Oh, what's up? So this is a wedge. Do you have any questions about what we're looking at? Like I said, I don't know anything about wedges, so you have to, Cash would be the person that can explain what we're looking at and what this means. And does everybody see that this, so when she told me to draw an uptrend, I mean the top trend, and I don't know who's all on here that's new or not new. Loading's probably not going to stay on for very long. He has a client. But it doesn't, just because it's a top trend doesn't mean that it has to go down. Like, yes, this is a trend and this is a trend and these are all trends. Like we could draw, I see like 6 trends just on this screen alone, and we're on the 1 minute. But a trend is the top wick to another top wick. It's not necessarily, this is not always, yes, this is a trend, but remember we have trends inside of trends. So we're trying to find the overall trend, which is an uptrend.
What time frame is this, Sarah?
I'm on the 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to find a wedge to show. Somebody had asked about it.
Honestly, I wasn't even trying to find it. I just saw it.
Well, I knew we would find one easily on the 1 minute over anything else, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But like for me, I'm personally, like I said, I'm looking for shorts. But I'm biased right now. I personally think we drop and whatnot. So, but that doesn't, just because I feel we're going to drop, that doesn't mean that we don't keep going up, because we have to grab stops. We have to hit levels. There has to be a reason that we fall. It can't just be, oh, this looks pretty, so let me enter here. Because like, for instance, right now, if anybody was thinking about going short or even going long in this area, there's nothing there telling us to go short or to go long.
Can you do me a favor and zoom out to, I say, 15 minutes or maybe even 30 minutes, and then we can see the stop level, and you should be able to see where it would want to go to grab, liquidated stops and before making the next move, maybe the 15 minutes.
I don't have any levels marked, but I can mark. But yeah, like this 1841, we've been talking about it all morning. Like this is where I would look to take my short entry with a stop loss, like literally right here, or like a little bit higher, like right here. Because if it breaks this 1841, it's going to go grab the break of structure. And if you wanted the greedier entry and all of that, then you wouldn't even go short right here. You would wait until this 1844.
Now, you see that wick right on the trend line, at the bottom trend line that you marked?
This one?
Up a little bit. I believe it's at 1823 somewhere. 1823 somewhere. Up higher.
I mean, if I draw this out, that's kind of where it's at. If you're talking
about 4 to
20.
3 candle down. 4 to 3 candle down from your opens. Those wick. So I believe those wick is where a lot of people who bought in at, just to push it back up. And if the market were to move upward trend, it needs to go back down there, grab all. It needs to liquidate in that area. You know what I mean?
This area, this is what he's talking about in this area right here, where the move started to, the next move, the next area.
Yep.
But anybody that's on, you know how we were talking about the top-down analysis and why we don't start at the lower frame and then try to work our way up. If anybody who was on I was moving trends around, that's because I was on a 1 minute and I drew a trend and I didn't have anything else. So if we actually moved the trend where it should be, we can see, oh, okay, well, no, we weren't. It's still that this trend is holding. The upward trend is still holding, which means that we need to come up here to grab this stop, these stops, so that we can make a new lower low. That's all that it is. Remember how we talked about it. It's ping pong. We have to make a higher high to make a lower low. We have to make a lower low to make a higher high. We have to make higher lows to continue to make higher highs. And understanding that, and you can ask loading. So loading and we trade exactly the same. It's actually kind of scary. But it took him a long time and he said this to me, I think yesterday, about I never understood the higher highs and the lower lows and how you used to incorporate them with your trading. And once I realized that and I understood how to find them and spot them and how they work, because if we're making higher lows, I'm not shorting anything until we make a higher high. So because the higher high says, okay, we should see a reverse to make a new lower high and continue to make those lower highs. So people always ask me, oh, how do you stack your positions and how do you do that? I'm not entering, if I'm going long, I'm not entering on a higher high to keep going. I'm entering on the new higher low to continue the uptrend. So like if we were in around this area, let's say like this is where let's say right here. I got in here, this was my first entry, right? And then it made its way up. We can see that, hey, we're coming down to retest. This is a level in this area, right? Here's a level. That's a greedier part of the entry. Here's, oh, wait, no. My magnet's not on. Hold on. There we go. So we can see that these are level areas. So, hey, we're going to go up. I'm sure that there's something, if we went to a higher time frame, I'm sure there's something right here that's making us making us reject. So it's going to come down and it's going to hit an area of resistance or support. That's where I'm adding to my positions. I'm not adding, if I entered here, yeah, you could add right here, but for what? We haven't completed a move. So right now, if I added here, most likely I'm going, as we see here, my stop loss most likely is going to get hit because we haven't completed a move. You want to complete a trend, then have a pullback to enter to another position, or you could even call these scalping moves. It doesn't have to be that you're adding to anything. So you could use this as a move, right? So we're in an uptrend. So we're just scalping. We're not holding anything. See, this is why I hate the magnet, but I love the magnet. So we're not like, we don't have to hold anything, right? So, all right, here's a move. We broke trend. Okay. We're rejecting. We've rejected so many times. This tells me, hey, we got to get out of this trade because we're going to have a pullback or whatever's going on. So I'm going to exit the trade if I'm a scalper, right? Now you could scalp it back down. There's nothing wrong with taking a scalp move and scalping it back down. So then, hey, we're going to scalp it back down to this area where we can see that there's a level. I don't know if can y'all see that line? There we go. Back down where we can see that there's a level. Okay, so now I'm going to wait for a confirmation to say, hey, we're not going to go down, which is this right here. What is this called again? Anybody?
What are you pointing at?
That right.
Well, an engulfing handle?
There you go. I mean, why are you being an engulfing handle? I couldn't remember the name of it.
I was sitting there. I was like, is this a trick question? Hold on.
No, I couldn't remember the name of it. And gosh, I'm confused. All right, so we could say, okay, so this is a confirmation because it's an engulfing candle, right? So now we're going to pre-draw a trend line. Hey, y'all know you can pre-draw trend lines, right? They don't have to, because that's what exactly my trend line would probably look like. All right, so then we broke, go here. Then once we actually start creating real trend lines, then that's when you can start moving your trends around. Like, hey, there's a trend there. And anybody who's watched cotton, you understand trends move. They don't always stay. So moving your trend line as you're trading is the proper way to trade. All right. So this is where, somewhere we would add on. And then, hey, we're breaking trend right here. So have a pullback. And you have to understand the higher time frame. So I had it already marked and I already deleted it, but we were in an uptrend. So as long as we're respecting the uptrend, then we're going to stay in the uptrend, what were we on, the 15 minute? We're going to continue to hold it. And if we go back where we were, this is where we broke above. And this tells us, hey, we broke above the 4-hour trend. So that's a higher time frame. So that's telling us, okay, we're going to continue in an uptrend. And then you just draw all your little trends inside trends. I mean, if I showed y'all a chart after a full true day of trading, you would be like, what in the world is going on here? Because it literally is lines and lines and lines and lines and lines and lines. Because like I said, trends move, trends recreate. They're always different. As you can see, we broke trend back down here, and this is where it's retesting. Now we're going back up. And where do we end is the question of the day. And it's just ranging. Is there any more news today? Because gold ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I think there's a Fed speech later, but no news.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tomorrow. Find something else to look at.
Honestly, if we don't actually break this range, then we're going to stay in it until Asia, London, and then we'll make the move for tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, we can use US 30 as an example real fast as you guys are looking at it. So here's the break of structure. It rejected the break of structure. It tried to hold this break of structure, but it could not. It came down. There's a level inside of here, okay, that we, because look, so levels are two areas. You have your level, that's the candle of the body. And then you have your wick, which is the greediest entry. So you could take your entry off of the body or you can take it off of the wick. That's your preference. That's your thing. It just depends. Like sometimes I'll be like, nope, I'm going to take it off the body. And then other times I take it off of the wick. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So, we see that we respected this. This made a level. We came through. We broke break of structure. We came back. We have to retest break of structure. So this is one of those things where we want to wait for confirmation. So we came down, didn't quite hit break of structure. So then this next candle open, right? And somebody's going to look at this and see, oh, crap, we didn't hit break of structure. This is a purple candle, so we're going to keep going up. And they're going to be like, oh, we need to enter. That's not true. We haven't hit break of structure yet. So the retest has not happened. So it retested, and you can see that we bounced up, right? Okay, we're still not going to enter on this candle because this candle hasn't done anything. It hasn't told us, yes, can you stop? It hasn't told us that, hey, we're going up or hey, we're going down. This is the candle that we're paying attention to, is the next candle after the retest. So is it going to hold this area? Is this a level somewhere else? That's why a top-down analysis is so important. Because for all we know, this is a key area on the 1 hour or the 4 hour where, hey, if it doesn't hold this, as we can see, it tried to break. And if we look at this, you can see as clear as day that it held this area. It broke below and it did not go back up. All of this. And this is a 30-minute. This is a 15-minute. So if we just go to the daily, you can see that we stayed below and we held that for two days. And that's something that I like to do a lot, is to find market on a higher time frame or even a lower time frame, to find what's going on there and how big of a move was it, and all that kind of stuff. And then drawing, like I said, the top-down analysis. I drew this on a smaller time frame, so it's not true, it's not real, because that's the real time, the trend. Did everybody see that? That's why we don't do trends on smaller time frames unless we have a higher time frame drew, because technically speaking, we haven't hit trend all the way. So this is telling me that we can come down here, retest this area, this part right in here, to break back up. If we go down to a lower time frame, I'm sure there's something there. Oh, look, right now. Yep, right there. Is that? I can't see, I'm blind. Yeah. So right in here is a level that it looks like it's trying to reject. Do you see that? Now, is it going to break? It definitely could break. I don't trade US 30, so I don't know what is what. But this could definitely break and then come down here, retest this before it comes back up, and retest this and grab this and then grab that. But one of the things that Dylan talks a lot about is what's easier for it to grab. Is it easier for it to grab this OB, or is it easier for it to grab this one? And that would determine what kind of trend. What's the trend look like? Are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? And according to US 30, we are in a downtrend. So just by looking at this, we can see that we're in a downtrend. So it's going to be easier for it to most likely come down here and grab this before it comes and grabs this, only because we're in a downtrend. But it could hold, it could respect this level, and then, come back up here and grab this, and then come back down here and grab this. You can trade levels and trends and OBs and all of that on any single ticker. It's all the same. If you want to trade options, you can use all of this stuff on options. If you want to trade crypto, you can use all of this stuff on crypto. It truly 100% is all the same. It's just knowing where to mark stuff, where to take profits, where to put your stop losses, and not chase trades. I think that's one of my hardest things right now, because I'm growing a small account and it's very frustrating, is knowing that I don't have the account size to make that mistake, to enter a trade in the middle of, like, for instance, this right here. If I had a big account, I won't lie, I probably would have entered right here for a long to come grab this and then to make its way down, even though we're in the middle of a move. And I'm sure that a lot of people have looked at this right here and was like, ooh, let me enter in this, and I could take a quick $2 move up or a quick $2 move down. And 9 times out of 10, you go into a drawdown before, and you're sitting there, oh, please don't hit that. Please don't go hit my stop loss. Please don't go hit my stop loss. And in reality, if you would have just waited and been patient, because I'm the same way, Cash is the same way, we're freaking human. We all do it. And if you're just like, man, I knew it was going to go there. I should have just been patient. I should have just waited. And that's all trading is about, 100% being patient and just waiting. Because if you're patient and you wait, 1, you won't lose money, and 2, you get the better of the entry.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, it is indeed. And if we're looking at this, right, this right here. So anybody who, because I know some people were talking about going short, because look, when we talk about our TA, we talk about like, okay, this is a key area to watch. If we break 1830, then we're going to keep going lower. So what that means is we're not saying take your short entry at the first sign of us hitting 1830. What we're saying is that this is a key area. It's a hold level. This is a place where either we break and we fall or we bounce. And you have to wait for that confirmation of what's going to happen. Are we going to break and fall, or are we going to hold the position? And just like, I don't know who was on last time, we talked about, breaking and holding of levels and things like that. These are breaking. These are not holding levels. This is a break. This is a break. What is that? Where did you go? This is a break. That was your tooth? You're silly. This was a break. This was a break. This also is a, what is this called? Evening star? Morning star.
It's on the bottom. It's a morning star.
Okay. This also is a morning star, by the way. But we didn't break. We didn't break. I mean, we broke. If we pay attention to patterns, this tells us that we're going to go and make them leg up. So then it made its leg up. There's a level in here somewhere, I'm sure. That's why we're rejecting. Look, there's a level right there. Bam. So then came back down. It broke. We did not hold the level. It broke. but it did not hold. Once again, this is another morning star. And it made its leg up. Came back down to retest, left an OB behind, and then made another leg up. I'm sure if we go over here somewhere, oh look, a level. Oh look, another level. Like there's levels everywhere. There is always a reason of why it is doing what it's doing. So all of this, right? We never broke. We never held below and broke. So that told us, hey, we're going to go long. We're not going to go short. Because there's no indication to go short. Now looking at this is an indication that we should probably start looking for short entries. Doesn't mean we go short right now. We're waiting. We want to see what happens when we get to this 1840. That pretty much between 1840, as you guys can see, 1841 and 1839. If you're one of those people that are worried about missing out on your trade, entering, putting a sell limit with a proper stop loss isn't a horrible idea. But just know that it's a risky move because we do have this break of structure, which is the high of yesterday that we have not hit yet. Any questions?
Gold trying to pop.
Yeah. And having, your stuff, having your trends is so important. Because as we can see, this is breaking trend. And we're going to go grab this area.
I bet if you go to that 1 minute, it finally broke out of that wedge.
I think I deleted that. Yeah, I did. But I deleted what we had. But it's still kind of there.
Yeah. Retesting
But yes,
it.
we did.
Yeah, it did.
So
It broke
I
under
personally
it.
am
It
looking
broke
for
under it
shorts.
for a few minutes too, and then retested and finally broke through it on the top side.
Yes. And then this is, what is this called? A rising wedge? Because there's so many different wedges. Like this one where would be considered a rising, right? A rising wedge. So that means that if it breaks back down, it's going to, this is a bearish incentive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to fall. It's just saying, hey, this is setting up for a bearish move, which we broke it. So does this mean that it's just going to come back and retest this area right here to make another leg up? Only time shall tell. Or it can come back down here and grab this. Like, I feel that gold is just going to range the rest of the day until Fed's talk, you said, news.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see what time they talk. It's one of the unimportant beds. So
Yeah, they got something in an hour.
I think it's at 4 p.m.
Yeah, it's in
Eastern.
4 hours.
Yeah. So I suspect that we continue to personally just range, honestly. Between this, pretty much the same thing that's been doing between this 1830 and 1838 area until we get closer to news. Once we get close to news, that's where it does its setup. I don't know if anybody was paying attention this morning around 7 o'clock this morning when it made its little news, when news hit. It's right here. Right? Where is it? Yep. Okay. So right in here. So remember, London sets up for New York. Okay? and it has to go high to be able to go low to be able to go high. So right in here, right? And then we came down, and then we came up, and then we came down. This, where was it? 7:30 is news. So gold set up around this time for news to hit. It made its leg up. News hit. We fell. And then it just pretty much was like, it doesn't affect me. I'm just going to sit here and do nothing because it didn't. I don't know. News is weird. I don't trade news. I trade the chart. But we pay attention to news because it is important to understand why something is doing what it's doing. For instance, when this candle was doing its thing and it was, I think that was like the 5 minute where it had back to back. Hold on, let me find it. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I couldn't find it. So we could see right before news hit, right? It sets you up. It always tells you what is going to happen. It set us up. It was holding this trend. So this tells me, and this is what, okay, so does anybody remember, I've asked this question, does anybody see anything on the 5 minute? And nobody answered except for Sofa King. But, so this is, I was looking at it as a rising wedge. Sofa King said that it would look like a bearish pendant. I don't know. I was playing the box method. So what I did was I drew a box like this. And I was waiting for whatever was going to happen. So when this broke above, I actually entered a long. And then on the 1 minute, this was an OB on the 1 minute. I exited, and then I re-entered, and then it fell. And then when it rejected this area was when I got back out. And then it started doing this thing, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just going to sit it out. Because news had hit, and it didn't break. Like, so with news hitting and it not doing a break above yesterday's high or a break below the low of Asia made me standoffish.
It also made a double bottom there.
Where? Oh, right here.
Yeah. That one,
Yeah.
no. That one right there, and then over.
Here? Oh, yeah, I see it.
That wick,
yeah. Yeah. So this is why, like, patterns and stuff, I don't necessarily pay them much attention. But what I was paying attention to with this was this. I drew my lines. And we were we kept bouncing off of these lines, which made me want to go long. Because that was considered a rising wedge. Or whatever it's called. That right there. Which is the same thing. Why we broke up, and then we broke up, and then we came back down. Ooh, is she going to fall? Is she going to go back down to 18?
Did it really?
Yeah, it rejected.
Oh, this son of a gun. As I wasn't looking.
You just now noticed that?
Well, I was,
silly girl.
typing.
And this is an evening star right here. And if this closes like this, So I was actually doing some studying on evening stars and morning stars. This candle on the right-hand side actually tells us if the move is going to be strong or not. So because this candle is so big, that tells us that this move down should indicate a big move. The smaller the candle that's reversing is the smaller the move is. I found that out last night. Because I was like, I don't understand how come sometimes these evening stars and morning stars are big moves and then sometimes they're not. And, you know, of course, the higher the time frame, the easier it is, the more reliable it is. But how this candle closes, how big it is, determines how big the next move is. Not saying enter this. Anybody who's looking, I've already
It's
entered.
reflecting that trend very well.
Yes. And then even if we want to, turn a little bit of this stuff on, we still have the trend, but we did make a higher high. So what I would be looking for is either for it to make a higher low or a lower high to determine, okay, are we going to continue a lower trend because we made a higher high, or are we going to make a new higher high with making a higher low? Did I confuse anybody on that? Because higher highs, lower lows, higher lows, lower highs, one, I still get very, very confused. And two, took me a very, very, very long time to see them, to spot them, and to understand them. That was back in when Rowdy was around.
I'll be one of the first to admit I still use the little higher low, higher high indicator.
Oh yeah, I use it on Vision. That's what's on right now. That's what's on right now, Vision.
I want to know.
So we've broken trend. I could draw it for you guys if you need me to. Oh, damn. Where is it? If we draw the trend, wrong trend. We could draw this trend. Like I said, there's trends all over the place. So we'll draw this trend right here. I'm sure this is like a 1 minute trend. This is a 1 minute trend. It is a 1 minute. Look at that. I love when I'm.
She's so proud of herself.
So proud of myself. But so as you can see, you have to gosh, we just have to always pay attention to all the time frames. And this is why people always talk about, oh, I need a bigger screen because I can't keep track of all my time frames. And this is why. Like, I have, what size is this? A 40,
like 48 or
5. Sorry, hold on, guys. I'm in the middle of a trade and I need to move my stop loss to break even.
Thanks for telling us, Sarah.
I did tell everybody, if you listen to me, I said I'm looking to take a short shortly here in these areas. Thank you very much.
I'm deaf. Okay.
Nobody listened.
And I took it.
Did you see?
He listened.
He listened. I didn't call it out. I said I'm looking to take a short in this area. Blah blah blah. Really, I'm taking shorts. I've been taking shorts this all freaking day long, waiting for this break of structure at 1830 because I want this thing to moon. I mean, not to moon. Sorry, to die. And I want to be in it, but I keep hitting stop loss. I mean, my stop losses are all blue, but they definitely keep hitting stop losses. And this looks like it's trying to form a morning star. Or yeah, but it's a 1 minute. So it'd be like a scalpity move up to like back up to this 36 area. Even you could retest the break of structure up there. But or it can make a bull flag. Like, this is why we want to wait for confirmations of figuring out what's kind of going on. I mean, a bear flag, to figure out what's kind of going on. Just because this closed like this and it made a morning star does not necessarily mean that we're going to go and boom up here. This could mean that we're forming a bear flag. It could be a descending wedge. It could be a falling wedge. Like, so we want confirmation of what's going on with the following of the next candles. And there we go. I personally closed my short only because I feel it that we're going to go up, but I could be wrong. Like, it's about to break, it looks like. Of course. This happened to me like 3 times yesterday. Yeah.
This chart right here actually brings into focus the fact of why it's so important to not just trade one certain way. Because say if someone just uses break a structure and OB,
I'll be right back. Sorry, my daughter just went and got in my car and is blowing my car.
But here, you know, you can see that trend does matter. So that's why we combine everything. Like cotton and the mentorship. I think there's a secondary trend in here. Mark, can you not move the TV?
They're not coming inside.
And now we break.
Cecilia, don't put this up. Cecilia.
Her daughter's trying to bring the goats back in the house. Or lambs. I can't remember what they are. They're cute, that's what I know. We really need to break below that 35. I mean, technically we need to break 33 and 30, but, you know, we'll start with 35.
Which one of you is that? Your uncle wanted you to enjoy our little dinosaur exhibit.
Yeah, because let me look at my chart. Because I think I have something there on the 15.
Kids, meet the man responsible for this exhibit, our museum archaeologist. Melbourne O'Reilly. Wow! I just saw you on the cover of last month's Adventure Illustrated.
Yeah, it's breaking. slowly. Honestly, though, looking at the 30-minute time frame, it depends on how we react at this trend coming up. Looks like the bottom of 35, because if we bounce off that trend, then we should make the pop to 44 eventually.
Look, I almost just called you because I was like talking and you kept talking and I was like, is she literally just talking over me right now? I was like, is she talking? Not even acknowledging that I'm talking. She just continued to talk. You were on mute. I had no freaking idea. I was like about to call you and be like, why are you ignoring me? I am literally sitting here asking a question. Isn't that a falling wedge on the 30? This right here? Technically speaking.
I mean, it's not a wedge.
A falling, whatever it's called. This.
But it's essentially I wouldn't call it a bull flag. But usually that formation is bullish. Not always,
right.
But usually.
That's a falling wedge.
I mean, it's not a wedge, though.
I don't know. Anybody have anything they want to put in? Because I'm telling you, that was bullish. I feel like we're going to reject right here.
That's actually what I was just saying. What, were you not paying attention, woman?
No, I wasn't.
I was saying on the 30-minute, if we bounce off that trend line right there, then we pop up. So bullish. Look at that.
Is it popping?
I don't know. It's still got a minute. I mean, the 5 minutes is trying to pull up. There we go.
I need to get my freaking keys set up for sniper entry.
That way you can tell me how it works.
I believe Sosa King has it.
I think so. Okay, can you not throw things, child? Yeah, looking at you.
So we wait for this candle to close to determine if this is going to end up being a morning star or an evening star. Morning stars and evening stars are literally like they're everywhere. And once you can start to spot them, that's like what I trade off of now. Like majority of my scalp moves are that. And I'm trying to show you right now. Like, okay, right there. That's one.
Right. Go to the right.
Right here is one. Right where?
To the right. Right before
right
that. There you go.
Here's one. So it is the trend candle with the next candle. So this candle I haven't, because I've read different things. I've read that the wicks are supposed to be even with the body in the middle or something like that. Like this is how I've read that they're supposed to look. Then I've also seen that it doesn't matter. That all that matters is that this candle does not match this candle, and then this is the reversal candle to tell us the next move. You see how this, and then this, from my understanding, as long as it is how it's supposed to work. So it's supposed to be like this is not considered a evening star. This is considered a nothing. Well, it's a level.
The bottom one that you have in the square is textbook. The one to our right, that one's pretty textbook as well.
Like this one right here, this one right here, and then how this candle looks or whatnot determines how strong of a move it's supposed to be, is from like my understanding. And I can find the picture to post it to kind of give a better example. It's about something to do with the body being above and above this candle. I'll post a picture of it. If anybody has done the mentorship, you know what I'm talking about with the morning stars and evening stars. But they truly are like they're everywhere. Like this
I will say that really chuckled. When I first started to learn how to trade, Billy was the one that actually taught me. And it makes a difference learning the different candles.
Oh, is she about to know? Is she about to know?
Oh. Are we dying? Maybe. Hold on. I think it just hit that trend line. Okay, yeah, we're testing that trend line.
No. We shall see.
Oh, is it actually going to break?
I think it's going to.
But it's all that to my short that I had at 37. Ah.
You're telling me because I just closed mine. It's going to break. It's done. It's done.
Tease
Mother
us
trucker.
all morning. Let's see. Oh, that was a mid-trend on the 5-minute as well.
Yeah.
Now, the key is if it actually keeps breaking, or if it holds. You know, sir, look at the 5-minute.
Yeah.
Double top.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I love them. I swear.
Child, put the squeaky toy away.
You son of a biscuit.
I want to zoom in a hair. Unless you're drawing something.
I'm drawing.
I saw that.
Yes. I don't like that trend. I mean, it's the trend, but I don't like it. Dang. I can't believe I closed that.
I know. You ought to be ashamed.
Well, you know what it was? I was on the 1 minute and I did not enter off the 1 minute. So I got a little scared. But it's okay. Look at all those trends that I just drew. They all literally just fell. They all broke. And I got out. Oh my goodness. I was stupid.
Honestly, though, like we could continue ranging. Like until we actually break 33 or 30, we're gonna continue ranging. Or, you know, if we break above, well, today, let's see, 39.
Yeah, back testing of that 4-hour trend that I had drawn out would make sense.
Like, and I mean, don't get me wrong. These ranging moves are great for scalping, but Sarah's not really a scalper. I mean, she can, and she has been, but
Thing is so hard for me.
it's one of those where, you know, unless you get in at the top or the bottom, then you're risking it, basically.
And unless you're playing off of key levels and things like that, like Kazi, Josh, he loves just $1 to $2 moves. And he just waits for him, and he'll take like this bounce. If it bounces here, not here. Sorry, let me redraw that. If it bounces here, he'll take this back up to wherever a level was left behind, which is like this 1835. And he would take this little $2 move with it. This right here. If it was to hold. It's not a big, it's on the 1 minute level. So it's not a strong level or anything like that. The strong level would be down here. But are we in an uptrend or are we in a downtrend? That's what you'd have to determine. And we've retested this 1830 so many times that it's bound to break. But we also have not grabbed that high from yesterday. There's a bunch of different things to take into consideration, and that's why when we do our TAs, we talk about, it has to hold and break this area to continue in a downtrend. And if we don't break and hold that area, then we're still technically in an uptrend. And right now, technically speaking, we're still in an uptrend because we have not broken the key level area between around that 1830. And it's crazy just looking at this, like, broke trend, came down, came back up, retested a trend line, came back down, broke trend but didn't hold trend, came back up, retested a trend, broke the trend, went and retested the topper trend to come. Like, how much gold respects trends is insane to me.
Let's see if we actually break this 33.
Better freaking not. Just let me back in. Okay? Don't be crazy. Just let me back in. Like, been waiting for this since 6 o'clock this morning, and now you're going to do it after I closed out my trade. You B word.
I know.
You're a B. You're straight up B. Right. Little.
I mean, honestly, like, I ain't doing nothing until I see what happens at 30.
That was a beautiful entry, just so everybody knows. Did you stay in that trade? Who was in that trade with me? Who was in that trade with me?
I think it was Coffee Table.
Yeah, I was, and now I got out when you mentioned that you were getting out. Unfortunately.
Oh, why'd you listen to me?
Because you know how this works a lot better than I do.
Apparently not.
That's true.
No.
Ooh, look at those candles.
I know. I'm super annoyed right now, actually. I definitely did not expect that. I won't lie. But it's okay. Maybe we can get another bounce back up. Probably not, because, you know, I've been waiting all day for this, so why would it actually give me another opportunity? This bucket.
I mean, I could see it bouncing somewhere in here.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Maybe not. Who knows?
We're leaving behind a ton of OBs.
Who knows? Let me turn my stuff back on. There we go. There we go.
Go. We just
Look,
hit
she's
an.
gonna let us get back in. She's gonna play nicely. She's gonna let us get back in. Look at all those OBs we left behind.
Save.
He's going to town on that squeaky.
Oh, I know.
I'm pretty sure my daughter's outside. Nobody worry. I live on 18 acres. It's all fenced in. We're good. And I have like 10 dogs, so.
Gators.
Break it. Give us our re-entry. All the way back at the top.
It's like I've been hanging out there all day.
It's going. Give me this. Everybody see that? This is where we want to look for entries. This area right here. It could go grab this.
Look at the 3 minute. Look at that.
We definitely could go hit this 40 area. And that's what we've been really waiting on, is that 40. But we need to break back above structure, hold trend, hold trend to come back up and grab all of this up in here before we come. Look, because there's a gap right on MT4. I know, but we have a gap right on this break of structure. It is literally right in here on MT4, this right here. Isn't that where it's at? Exactly where it's at, if I'm not mistaken.
It's like, oh no, it's lower. It's 18, 19 to 21.
I know it's a $2 gap, and that's a big old gap. And I want it. And if I miss it, I'm gonna be mad.
That was a solid bounce off 32.
Yeah.
Like, that's like still moving.
It was a 15-minute OB too.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys have seen how many times we've flipped through one chart to go to the next chart, to go to the next chart, to go to the next chart. Like, you constantly have to like move through your charts. You can't just focus on just
One time frame.
one chart, because there's so much going on all the other charts. Like, trend. And these trends, like, if anybody's like, well, why does she keep drawing trends that have already like happened? So these trends are actually important. They're the backsides and things like that. So like this would be an important trend. Well, I'm on the 15 minutes, so they're not as important. But on the higher time frames, if you ever hear like Kazi or somebody mention like we're back testing a trend, that's what they're talking about. They're old trend lines that are being back tested, which, as you can see, it's trying to back test this trend, which is a break of structure, which is an origin OB. It just hasn't quite retested yet. A sticker? Where were you? Oh, you got a cactus.
Don't pull it all.
I know, because it's in your finger. Let me pull it out. Or you pull it out yourself. Yeah, here, look, come get the flashlight. Okay, pull it out. I'll hold it, you pull. Pull it. Now go throw it in the trash.
Shit.
And
Just
stay out of the dang cactus. Are you going back outside?
we left behind a whole bunch of OBs on the 1 minute, so
I know.
it does look like we're going to retest those again.
I got something on my MT4 that we're rejecting.
One of these days,
Look,
I
I
need
draw
to
stuff on my. Be quiet. I draw stuff on my MT4 all the time, and I don't know what they are because you can't really see like the whole picture on MT4. But I'll be like, "Hey, we're rejecting something here," and she'll be like, "Well, what is it?" I don't know. It's a line. That's all I know.
That's pretty accurate.
It is, and that's what's so sad. But we left behind a good old OB on the 5 minute back at that 1838. That's what I'm looking for. Hey girl, why don't you go take a bath? You have another sticker? Stop it. You're messing with the cactus. Now stop. Yes, because you're going to hurt yourself.
This time you pick it out when I put it up.
Cecilia, stay out of the cactus. Give me my phone. Now, Cecilia. You want to go take a bath now?
I want to take a picture of
Okay, can you go take a bath?
me.
Thank you.
Come on, Gold, make a bull flag.
I think that is a bear flag on the 1 minute. I mean, bull flag on the 1 minute.
It's trying.
Like I said, I'm looking down.
He's full of energy today. Come on, Gold, pop it.
What? Cecilia, stop it. I'm gonna I'm pausing y'all for 1 second. My daughter decided that she's going to lick the cactus.
And this is why I don't keep plants. Along with the fact that I'm in a hotel. I will say the fact that we held at 32 does say something, at least for now. Concludes that we are still pretty dang bullish. And I think that is let me see here. Let me go to the 15 1 hour. There's the 1 hour. All right, let's see what that looks like on the 15. Ah, that's why we bounced. Because that, well, obviously we had an OB there, and that was a 1 hour trend. Boom. That makes more sense. Trends within trends within trends. If anybody has any questions, y'all don't be scared to speak up. Glad to see you on here, Rimmer. Will you stop pulling the drawers out, child?
At least your kid's not licking cactuses, okay? My life. My life.
I'm telling you, if I had a cactus, he probably would lick it.
Love them to death. But they drive me crazy.
I'm going to throw the squeaky toy away.
Nah.
I should, shouldn't I?
What?
I said I should.
Just die already. I would like for you to plummet to your death. Oh. Oh. read? Are we gonna die? Go. Let's make an H. So much red. Oh, I like that better. What?
Oh, Logan messaged me.
That's your laughing at me. All right, everybody. Anybody have any questions or anything? I'm gonna have to hop off here pretty soon.
Are we doing the recap tonight, Sarah?
We could do a recap tonight.
Okay, cool.
We could definitely do a recap tonight. I mean, look at that beautiful move right there. Why? Cecilia, you're aggravating me, child. That happened right after news hit this one.
Well, there is another trend line that it's bouncing off of.
Ooh. All right, everybody. I gotta hop off of here. She's trying to lick cactuses, and I don't know. She's crazy. But we could do a recap tonight if everybody could just go and tell us kind of in the chats of what time is best. Typically, anything after 8 o'clock is better for me. My husband should be home today a little bit earlier, so I might be able to do something before then. But anything after 8 o'clock is just better because that's when my kids go to bed. But we'll be in the chats looking for entries. Like I said, I would like to see another short entry up in this area. But I might not get it. But if I don't get it, then I'll wait for a break of structure and the retest of the break of structure to enter into anything if I was going to go short. So either we wait for this rejection or we wait for this retest before entering a short. And then same with the long, the same concept. We wait for either a bounce to enter or a break of structure with a retest and a hold of that break of structure before we go long. So, for instance, a bounce, we don't enter, we go off of this, come back down, retest to go back up. But time shall tell. All right, everybody have a good night. If you have any questions, we'll be in the chats, of course. And then but yeah. And then we'll do a recap. So y'all just post what times y'all would like for that to be tonight. And we could do that.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Good. Have a good day, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Thanks, guys.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.